Hello and welcome to my battle report. Today we're using the bolt action system, and this battle is between Romanians and Soviets. The year is 1941, in the beginning phase of Barbarossa. Romanians are entering into an area guarded by inexperienced frontier guards. Most of the Romanian troops are regulars, and most of the Soviets are inexperienced. Here we see the Soviet army list. We have an inexperienced junior lieutenant with submachine gun with one batman, an inexperienced rifle squad of 12 men, just riflemen, another of 11 men with one light machine gun, another of 11 men with one light machine gun, and an NKVD unit of 10 men, but actually they are frontier guard with the green caps, not the blue caps. Engineers are the best unit in the squad. They're a veteran with a flamethrower. We have an inexperienced anti-tank rifle team, a regular mortar team, a regular light mortar team, a regular frontier guard MMG, a regular 45mm anti-tank gun, a regular BT-7, a regular T-37 tankette, and a regular T-26 bunker. That's for 1,000 points. Going up against them is the Romanian troops. Headquarters is a second lieutenant with his batman, one regular infantry squad of 8 men with one light machine gun and one submachine gun, another one of 8 men, another one of 8 men, and another one of 8 men. So 4 squads, all identically armed. They have a support by one veteran mountain infantry, which is the Venatori di Munte, Hunters of the Mountains. We then have a regular flamethrower, 2 men, a regular light mortar of 2 men, and a regular medium machine gun of 3 men. They have a regular 47mm bowler gun, same as the Italian gun, and a regular 75mm 1897 field gun. This is the French World War I gun. And finally, we have an R1 tankette and an R2 light tank. The R2 is the same as the Czech or German Panzer 38. So the system I'm playing here is, as we draw an order die, one unit will come out and do their move. The first unit to come out was this Soviet squad, which ran to the forest. Second squad was this one here, who ran close to the barricade. Then an anti-tank rifle. Oh, actually, this didn't come out yet. One moment. My mistake. It was the Russian bunker, which I put into ambush. The next unit to come out was the Romanian bowler gun, the 47mm gun, which exchanged fire with the Russian bunker. It fired and missed. The bunker then fired its machine gun and also missed. The next to come out was the field gun, which fired a high explosive shot at the bunker and also missed. Then the Panzer 38, or the R2 tank, came out, fired, missed the bunker. The bunker then went into requested support, and support came. The next order to come out was the BT-7 tank. The BT-7 tank came out, advanced, fired at the Panzer 38 and missed. Then the 45mm gun came out, fired and hit the Panzer 38, ding! But did not penetrate. But he got one pin marker. We're playing, by the way, with bolt action version 2 rules. Next to come out was the Russian mortar, which fired a shot at the anti-tank gun, but missed. I'm sorry, it fired a shot at the field gun and missed. It fired over open sights, excuse me. R1 tank came out, knocked out 3 of the conscripts. Then the anti-tank rifle came out, fired a shot, penetrated the R1, blew it up, and it was taken out of the game. Riflemen came out, fired their light machine gun, caused one more casualty. Medium machine gun came out and caused a few more casualties. This conscript unit took a brake test, failed, but under their rule they were allowed to take one more brake test and they passed. Light mortar advanced into a run. Russian machine gun ran to this position. Romanian mountain troops and flamethrowers ran to this position. Another troop ran to this position. Basically, it was just a lot of movement this round. They both ran. Another Russian conscript unit ran to this position. Engineers ran to here. And the Frontier Guard ran to here. Summary of round one was a lot of missed shots, a lot of running. One conscript unit was almost annihilated, but they still held their ground. R1 tank was knocked out. Okay, we're going to begin round two. Okay, the first order die is for the Russians. For the Russians, I'm going to try to rally this conscript unit. Score is 8, they rally. They will lose d6 plus 1 pin markers. Okay, 3 pin markers are removed, they are rallied. Great for them. Next is the Russians again. Russians are blue and red. Romanians are yellow and green. Gonna have the light mortar run to the woods, or behind the woods. So they're behind the woods, safe from fire, and they can start to fire indirectly. Light mortars have really short range of only 24 inches. Okay, next is the Russians again. I'm going to have the anti-tank rifle run to a better position so he could possibly help in the firefight against the R2 tank. Okay, he's now over here, and if the R2 tank survives, he may be able to get a shot next round. Russians again. Okay, T-26 bunker is going to exchange fire with the R2. Hits on a 3. He's at long range, so hits on a 4. Ah, direct hit. The R2 takes another pin. And let's see if it is penetrated. Okay, so the armor value is 8. Penetration is plus 4. Alright, it is penetrated. Okay, let's see the damage. 1. Alright, so the crew is stunned. Okay, that's probably the best result. Basically, the crew is overcome by smoke for the round, starts to halt its movement, and gets an additional pin marker. Okay, another Soviet dice, the BT-7 will fire. Actually, no, the 45mm anti-tank gun will fire. Okay, it's firing at long range, needs a 4 or higher to hit. Hit! Oh, this poor R2 tank. The Romanians are soon going to have no armor. Penetration again is a light anti-tank gun, so plus 4. Alright, penetration at a 9. Let's see what happens. 4. The R2 tank is knocked out. Oh. Okay, and we add a fire and some casualty markers. And now the Romanians have no armor. The only way they can counter the Russian armor is with their anti-tank gun and their light artillery. Let's see what they can do in the next round. Okay, Romanians again. Alright, so we're gonna have the bowler gun. I can choose between the BT-7 and the T-26 bunker. I think the BT-7 would be more of a threat because it's mobile. So we're going to fire at that from long range. Also, it's not in any cover, and it didn't move in its round yet, so we could deprive it of its action. Let's see what happens. We need a 4 or higher to hit. 5, direct hit. Penetration is a... The book says an 8, but Since it lists the T-26 as a 7, I feel as if the BT-7 should maybe have the equivalent armor of the T-26 because it was very lightly armored. So we're going to say it's an armor of 7. Let's see what happens. 4, 5, 6. Wow, the BT-7 is fine. The shot ricochets off the armor. Probably hit it at a slope. But it does get 1 pin marker. Okay, let's see what happens next. Next is Soviets. Alright, let's see what we should do. I think the assault engineers are going to run forward so they can go in close range with their flamethrowers. Alright, Romanians are next. Okay, next is red. And I'm going to activate the Russian officer, an experienced officer, who's also going to activate the Frontier Guard unit, which are near him. Okay, they're all taking cover in this fortified position, hard cover. Hopefully they don't get hit with an artillery strike. So turn 2 is looking pretty bad for the Romanians. Turn 1 was pretty even. The Romanians lost their R1 tankette, but almost knocked out half of a conscript squad. Turn 2, we've lost our R2 tank. Russians haven't really suffered anything except for 1 pin marker. Okay, Russians are activated again. I think the T-37 will go next. The T-37 is at the edge of the forest and therefore doesn't need to advance, and it's just going to fire with its MMG. The best target for the T-37 is this infantry unit here because basically half is behind cover but other half isn't. That's in its range of fire. You can fire at the Romanian mountain troops, which would be a better target, but they're in cover. Okay, so this is going to be a very easy shot for the T-37. Hits are on a 3+. Four hits. Oh boy, Romanians are in trouble. Actually, I rolled 1 extra dice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we're gonna have to roll again. Miss, miss, hit, hit, hit. So 3 hits. Okay, now let's see if they get damaged. Okay, casualties are taken on 4+. Alright, 1 casualty and 1 pin marker. Ooh. Okay, next order die is the Russians again. Russian medium machine guns going to take up position and fire. Going to fire at the Romanian mountain troops, which are veterans. The Romanian troops are in hard cover and long range, which means -2, -3 to hit. They need 6s to hits. Alright, 1 hit. Veteran troops are killed on a 5+. Okay, they are not killed. Nobody's killed, I mean, no casualties, but they get 1 pin marker. Next order die is Russian again. My goodness. Okay, the BT-7 is going to attempt to fire at the infantry squad in front of it. We have to activate 1 pin marker. So their morale is 9, -1 is 8. Okay, they activate, remove 1 pin marker. Okay, 4s are needed to hit. 1, 2, 3, 3 shots. They kill on a 4+. Oh my gosh, 3 casualties for the Romanians. 3 knocked down by MG fire. The Romanians are getting hammered this round. Oh. Next order die is Russians again. These Russians are in a very good position defensively, but they've got nobody who's probably going to get in range of them, so we're probably going to have to put them into a better position so they can do something, even though they have a great hardcover in front of them. Okay, so they advance, jumping over their defensive position, and they may be able to fire upon the mountain troops or the flamethrower from there. Probably rifle fire is out of range, but MG fire should be in range. Let's find out. Rifle fire is just out of range, but MG fire is in range. And they're going to fire their MG at the flamethrower team. Okay, so that's long range, -1, hard cover, -2. They need 6s to hit on 4 dice, LMG fire. Okay, 1 hit. 4+ wounds. Ah, just missed, but they do get a pin marker on the flame team. Man, things are looking bad for the Romanians this round. Pinned, casualties. Russians haven't taken any damage. 1 pin marker on the BT-7, which was removed. Oh boy. Finally, Romanians get a turn. Romanian light mortar is going to attempt to lob a shell over the forest into the engineers. I don't know if they'll be in range though. They are in range. Okay. Since it's indirect fire without a spotter, they hit on a 6. Oh my gosh! Some luck for the Romanians. They hit with a light mortar shell. Now this is a small little shell, so it's going to hit the flame team. Now, problem for the Romanians is these are veterans, so they're wounded on a 5+. Ah, no wounds, but they do take some pin markers. That may help the Romanians to some degree. Okay, and the next order die is Romanians. Okay, we're going to activate the Romanian 75mm field gun. It's going to fire at these infantry in the open at long range. Need a 4 to hit. Oh, terrible miss for the Romanians. The shell flies and splinters into the forest. Next order die is Soviets. I'm going to activate the medium mortar. The mortar is going to aim at the flamethrower team. They are in hard cover, so a 6 is necessary. Okay, miss. The mortar shells whiz through the mountainous terrain, hitting the Romanian troops with rock splinters. Okay, next we have Romanians again. We're going to activate the machine gun team. It's going to fire at that same conscript unit that rallied earlier. They're not directly behind the hard cover, but they do have it semi in front of them, so instead of the -2, I will give them a -1. So -1 to hit for long range, -1 for soft cover, 5s are needed to hit. Okay, only 1 hit. They take casualty on a 3 or higher. No casualties for the Russians, but they do get 1 pin marker. Okay, next we have Romanians again. We're going to advance this infantry unit and fire at that same conscript unit. They advance 6 inches and then fire at a -1. Alright, so I think they're going to be in long range rifle range. They'll definitely be in light machine gun range. Okay, so they're in long range, but they can only hit the front unit. But actually, luckily for them, the front unit is the Soviet light machine gun team. So they're going to have 7 rifle shots and 1 light machine gun shot. One has a submachine gun, so he's obviously out of range. The commander has that. Alright, so they're going to need a lot of modifiers. Long range -1, advanced -1, and mixed cover -1. So they're going to need 6s to hit. We'll roll for the rifle fire first. 1, 2 hits. And then we'll roll for the machine gun. It's 4 dice, actually. All misses. Alright, so they take 2 hits. Take 1 pin automatically. This poor conscript unit is taking the brunt of the Romanian advance on the left flank. And they will take casualties on a 3+. Alright, the Romanians have knocked out the conscript light machine gun team. Looks like the first significant victory for the Romanians. If the Romanians got 1 more casualty on the Soviets, they would have had to take a break test. And they probably would have routed. Next unit activated is Russia again. This is probably going to be the last order die for the Russians. Looks like they got their way all in round 2. I think the last unit to move is this one unit who is advancing into the forest. Okay, they advance to the edge of the forest and they're going to exchange fire with the Romanian mountain infantry. They probably don't have a ghost of a chance, but they could lay down some suppressive fire on them. Let's give it a roll. These are 12 riflemen firing at troops in hard cover. So they are inexperienced, that's -1. Firing at long range, -1. Troops are in hard cover, -2. That means they need 7s to hit. 7s to hit, so that basically means roll a 6. And if they get a 6, roll another 6. So very unlikely, although they can give some pin markers. Let's try it out. Okay, we're going to roll in 2 batches of 6. Okay, 1 hit. Wow, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. Oh my gosh. And now we roll again to get that 6 again. Quite unlikely, but who knows. Okay, no hits, but they do get a pin marker, so they did exceptionally well, this conscript unit. And they take another pin marker. Okay, next unit activated is the Romanians. They are going to exchange fire with that same conscript unit, but we have to see if they will stay pinned down or will follow orders. Let's see. Okay, so pin check. They are a 10 morale, -2 for 2 pin markers. They need 8. Oh my gosh. 9. They don't follow orders, they stay pinned down. My best Romanian troops stay pinned down. I think morale is collapsing in the Romanian attack force. Too many casualties, even the best troops are not following orders. Okay, and the next order die is the Romanians again. They're going to do a little bit of a gamble. since they're doing so poorly in the game. There is a tankette that is not that far from them. They're going to attempt to charge forward and maybe next round blast the tankette with flame. Most likely they're going to get mowed down, unfortunately, but it's kind of a heroic last-ditch effort for the Romanians. So we're going to have them run, i.e. charge towards the tankette position, and then next round fire. They have one pin marker, so we have to see if they will obey the order. They have a 9, -1, 8, 8 or under. Okay, roll the 7. They run forward towards the tankette, ready to blast them next turn. This gamble could work out for them if the Romanians get the first order dice, otherwise they're in big trouble. Okay, next order die is to the Romanians. We're going to activate Rifle Company B. They're going to advance through the woods and exchange fire with the conscripts in the open. They have one pin marker. Okay, they pass. Alright, the Romanians are in long range with the conscripts. We have one light machine gun and 5 rifle shots. Okay, long range, -1, advance, -1. They need 5s or higher to hit. Okay, no hits with the rifle fire. Bullets whiz through the forest. The LMG rattles. Okay, one hit with the LMG. That's good for them. At least they give at least one pin marker to the Soviets. They damage the Soviets on a 3+. Oh, 2. The Romanians really are having bad luck. I think the Romanians are going to have to withdraw soon. But let's kind of see what happens with the flame team, if they actually succeed in taking out the tankette, or if they're pushed back. Okay, we're now going to activate the Romanian officer, and he's going to activate the infantry unit next to him. Okay, so they advance into the forest, and they're going to exchange fire with the Frontier Guard. Frontier Guard are behind barricades, so that counts as hard cover. Okay, they moved -1, long range -1, hard cover -2. They need 7s to hit on rifle fire. Okay, 1 hit, another 6 is needed. Okay, that results in no wounds, but 1 pin marker. Now the light machine gun will rattle off. They need a 6 to hit because their long range is a bit longer than the rifle fire. Alright, no hits. Poor Romanians. Alright, -1. Modifiers are finished. We are now going to give a pin marker to the Frontier Guard. Okay, our last unit, they're going to run into the forest and engage in close combat with the engineers. Needless to say, this is kind of a bad idea, but it's basically a last-ditch effort to try to spray the engineers with small arms fire, submachine gun fire, grenades. However, they fail their pin check and stay where they are. Maybe that's for the best. I imagine their officer was spurring them on to a suicidal action, and the troops just stayed down low and didn't listen to their officer, much probably to their benefit. Okay, and that concludes round 2. Disaster for the Romanians. Just a few pin markers for the Soviets. The only units that have really suffered any damage were the conscripts on the right wing over there. For them. Romanians lost their R2 tank, lost half of a unit here, suffered a casualty here, and mounted infantry disobeyed their orders and stayed pinned down. This infantry unit also disobeyed their orders, probably to their benefit, as their officer wanted them to charge into the woods and throw grenades at the combat engineers with flamethrower. Field gun didn't do much. Medium machine gun caused a few casualties here on this one conscript unit. I think the Romanians are going to withdraw soon. Let's see what happens with the flamethrower and the tankette. Okay, turn 3, battlefield summary before we begin. Alright, so basically whoever gets this next order die is going to decide the fate for the for the Romanians. If the flame team gets to blast this tankette, they might actually have a bit of a rally. Otherwise, I think things are a loss for the Romanians. Let's see what die is withdrawn from the bag. Excuse me, drawn from the bag. This is it. Russians, oh no. I think they're about to get sprayed with MG fire. Alright, so the tankette's shooting at point blank range, which gives it a +2 to hit. Basically, it needs 1s to hit, so can't miss. Okay, 5 hits on the Romanians. Let's see for damage. 3+. Alright, and the Romanian team is knocked out. They tried to inspire the mountain troops who stayed hunkered down, but they're on the battlefield with modern weapons. It's no longer the 17th century. Heroic elan is often met with bullets. Next I draw the Soviets. The engineers are going to move this turn. Okay, so they roll in advance. 7, their pin marker is removed. They are now in very close combat range with this Romanian unit on the left flank. Woo, for them. They have some submachine guns and some flame teams, and they're veterans. Romanians are regular with 1 submachine gun. Let's see what happens. This is gonna get messy. Okay, so the officer has an SMG, and there's 9 riflemen and 1 flame team. Let's start with the SMG. Okay, so the SMG needs a 3 to hit. Close range now needs a 1 to hit. Movement 2 to hit. Soft cover 3 to hit. So 3 to hit, 2 shots with the officer's SMG. 1 hit. Roll to wound. 1 dead. Rifle fire. Once again, 3s to hit. I'm gonna roll 9 dice, 6 and then 3. Okay, no hits. 3 more dice. No hits. Alright, now the flame team. The Romanians didn't get to use their flamethrower, but it looks like the Soviets will. Okay, so the flamethrower ignores cover. First, let's see if they're in range, 6 inches. So that means they suffer -1 for movement. So that means they need so -1 for movement. So that is a 2. Excuse me, a 4.
+1 for short range. Goes back to a 3. Ignore cover. Okay, so basically they need a 3 to hit. Oh boy. Alright, 2 casualties from the flamethrower. And 3 pin markers for the Romanians. Could have been worse, actually. Okay, this unit now has to check its morale to see if it breaks. Their morale is 6. They passed, shockingly. So it'll be to get the next die. Okay, the Frontier Guard are going to fire at this same rifle squad and attempt to knock them out. They have 1 submachine gun and 10 rifles, I believe, so rifle range, rifles firing downrange at long distance. Actually, it's 9 riflemen and 1 submachine gun. That's the officer and the batman. Okay, they need 5s. 1 hit. 3 more. Okay, 1 hit, roll to wound. Okay, the Romanians take 1 more casualty and 1 more pin marker. I think the Romanians are going to need to take another break test. Shockingly passed. They must really be in a desperate fight to the death situation. Next order die is the Russians again. BT-7 is going to advance and fire. Okay, the BT-7 advances and is going to fire a high explosive shot at the mountain troops. Okay, he is in short range, or I should say within range. They have a -2 modifier for cover. He moved. Actually, you know what? Machine gun fire would be a better option. So he'll fire the medium machine gun, the coaxial. 6s are needed to hit. Okay, 1 hit. Roll to damage, need a 5. 1 casualty for the mountain troops, and 1 pin marker. Next die is for the Soviets again. T-26 bunker fires at the Romanians in the forest here. Okay, so firing at troops in cover, -1, 4s are needed to hit. Light machine gun, coaxial medium machine gun fires. Okay, 1 hit is scored, roll to wound. Okay, 1 casualty taken, and another pin marker added. Okay, Romanians are activated. They're going to fire their anti-tank gun at the BT-7. Let's see if they obey orders after being pinned. They need an 8 or under, and they do not obey. Oh my gosh. All the best troops that the Romanians have are not obeying their order, and they are staying pinned down. Meanwhile, the regular Romanian troops are obeying orders. It looks like the elites are just trying to possibly withdraw from this disaster and using the regulars as a rear guard. This will probably be the last round of combat. Let's just see what the results are after this last, we would say, 5 minutes of clash time. Because remember, this is all supposed to be happening simultaneously. Okay, we're gonna try to just have these guys fire. I would normally have them rally, but since this is the last round, let's just see if they can manage to get a few shots off at that flame team. They're gonna need a 5 or under to obey orders. Okay, they fail and they stay pinned down. No one would blame these guys for staying hunkered down. Okay, next order die is Romanians. Light mortar is going to fire into the engineers. Let's see if they hit. Direct hit onto the flame team. 5's needed to wound. Okay, 1 casualty for the flame team. Oh, finally. And we will give the engineers 1 pin marker and a droplet to represent 1 team member down. Okay, next order activated is the 45mm gun. It's going to fire high explosive shot at these troops in the open here, and it's going to attempt to hit the LMG team over there. 4 is going to be needed to hit. Miss. Okay, next we got Soviets again. We're going to have the battered conscript unit attempt to exchange fire with the Romanian regulars here. Okay, so to obey orders is 8, minus 2 is 6, 6 or under. Okay, they fail and stay down. Okay, next is the Romanian mountain infantry. Let's see if they finally do something this turn. Okay, to obey orders, 7 or under. Okay, they obey. Remove 1 pin marker. And they're going to exchange fire with the conscripts in the woods here. Okay, we'll start with the light machine gun. -1 for long range and -1 for cover. They need 5s to hit. Okay, 1 hit. Okay, now 3 rifle shots. Okay, 3 hits on the conscripts. Let's see if they get wounded. 3 wounds. Okay, finally some action for the Romanians this turn. But probably not enough. Okay, next unit to fire will be the Soviet mortar, light mortar. It's firing open sights at this infantry unit here. Hit. Okay, these 2 models here will be struck by 1 each template. Okay. 2 casualties. Okay, next is Romanian. Field gun will fire at the BT-7. Okay, it's within 24 inches. It's on a 3. Hit! Okay, so we're being hit by a high explosive shell. Penetration is +2. So basically we'll need a 5 or a 6 to penetrate. Penetrate! Oh my gosh! Finally! BT-7 is hit. Takes D3 pins. Okay, so 2 pins. But let's see what happens to it before that even happens. 4! Wow! Artillery! The BT-7 brews up. First significant victory for the Romanians. World War I field gun responsible. Next order die is for the Russian conscripts. They're going to exchange fire with the Romanians in the wood here. Let's see if they obey orders. 5, 6, okay, they do. And we remove 1 pin marker. Okay, light machine gun will fire first. -1, plus -1 for being inexperienced. 5 or 6 needed to hit. No hits. Okay, rifle fire. 2 hits. Another round. 1 more hit, so 3 hits. Roll to wound. One casualty and 1 pin marker. We'll activate the officer. Now he has a submachine gun, but his Batman has a rifle. So we're just going to take 1 rifle shot. 5 or 6 to hit. Miss. Conscripts are going to engage with the mountain infantry. Okay, let's take an order test for them. Okay, they pass. Okay, so they're inexperienced, -1, long range, -1, hard cover, -2, so -4, 6 plus another 6 to hit. 8 shots. First volley, all misses. Second volley. Okay, 1-6 on the second volley. Roll again, need another 6 to hit. Another hit! Wow, a lucky shot. Another mountain troop goes down. And we're definitely going to have to promote one of these conscripts. Okay, the mountain troops now get 3 pin markers. Okay, the anti-tank rifle is going to take a shot at the mountain troops. Needs a 6 to hit. 6! Oh my gosh. Roll to wound. No wound. We forgot to roll to wound for the conscripts. Let's see. Okay, they did wound. Okay, so that works out, right? But they do take another pin marker from the anti-tank rifle. The mountain troops are obviously being focused on now that the Romanian armor has been long ago knocked out. Next order is the Romanian machine gun. It's going to fire at the conscripts. See if they can get knocked out this round. Okay, 5s are needed to hit. Okay, 1 hit. Roll to wound. Okay, another casualty for the conscripts. Okay, they've been reduced down to just 3 men. I think they're going to need to take a break test. Okay, they fail their break test, but they get to roll up 1 more time. They fail again, they rout. Most likely they will be arrested after the battle. We'll just put them off to the edge like they're running away. Oh, this officer is going to be in big trouble. We activate this Romanian officer as well as this rifle unit, and they're going to exchange fire with the light mortar team. I think the light mortar team is going to take some casualties here. Okay, we'll start with the light machine gun. They advanced, plus the mortar's in partial cover, so we're going to give them -2. So they need 5 or 6 to hit. Okay, 1 hit. Roll to wound. Okay, and 1 wound. Okay, now for rifle fire. 5's needed. 1, 2, 3, 3 hits. Okay, 1 wound. Light mortar team is out. Okay, Romanians getting some victories at the end of this battle. So far BT7 and light mortar team is out. 1 conscript unit's out and another one has been reduced to half. Okay, these infantry will fire at the engineers. Okay, firing at troops in the open. Light machine gun, 3 ups. Okay, 2 hits. 1 pin marker. Veterans, roll to wound. No wounds. 2 rifle shots. Both miss. Okay, next shot's coming from the mortar team, Soviet. Indirect fire on the mountain troops over here. Okay, 6 needs to hit. Miss. Fire is coming from the Frontier Guard machine gun at the Romanian mountain troops.
6 is needed to hit. 1 hit, 5 to wound. Another Romanian mountain soldier goes down. Somehow these being the best troops and in the best cover took the most casualties. Okay, and I think that concludes the battle. The Romanians are going to withdraw. Let's see if they withdraw successfully. On a 1 to 3, each unit will withdraw successfully. Machine gun team is captured by the Soviets. Riflemen are also captured by the Soviets. Frontier Guard are captured. Oh boy. Field gun, they abandon their gun and escape. Company A are captured. Company B are captured. Anti-tank gun crew are captured. Company C escapes somehow. And light mortar team is captured. What a disaster for the Romanians. Almost all of them have been either annihilated or captured. Let's take a look at the summary of each unit. Okay, R1 tankette knocked out. MG team, no casualties but captured. Company A, 2 casualties and captured. Romanian mountain troops, 3 casualties out of 7 and captured. Flame team destroyed. Field gun, they are probably the most successful for the Romanians. They knocked out the BT-7 tank and they escaped. Company C, 3 casualties. R2 tank knocked out. 3 casualties, 4 casualties. Soviets suffered 1 casualty. For the engineers, bunker, no casualties. Company A, no casualty. BT-7 knocked out. T-37, no casualties. Light mortar knocked out. Company B, 3 casualties. Company C, 9 casualties and routed. Anti-tank gun team, no casualties. MG team, no casualties. T-37 is fine. Mortar team is fine. All in all, a pretty engaging game. I probably made a couple errors here and there as I am playing by myself. But, you know, it's all in good fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I'll see you guys next time. Please like and subscribe.